Now more on the aftermath of the floods. If dealing with flood damage isn't enough, some homeowners are facing another threat: termites. You thought about that? 11 Live's Paul Crawley tells us even homes that weren't flooded could be vulnerable now thanks to last week's record rain.
We already know that thousands of North Georgia homes and businesses were destroyed or heavily damaged by last week's floods. Now we're being warned that some of those homes, and even those not flooded, could face a new threat: the threat of being eaten from within by these little creatures, termites. Georgia agriculture officials say the degree of the threat depends on what all of that rainwater may have done to the dirt around your foundation.
Was there soil movement around the house or additional soil piled on top of the foundation? All of those things could affect the termite treatment.
This Lawrenceville Pest Control Company showed us an example. This storage building was partially flooded, leaving soil behind and possibly eroding its foundation dirt. Too much or too little soil could mean previous chemical termite treatments may have been washed away or covered over and need to be redone. Meanwhile, some companies are finding that even people whose homes were flooded are discovering a mixed blessing underneath wet sheetrock.
That's a good and bad situation. It's a bad situation because they have had the water problem. It's a good situation because they've found a termite problem that obviously they didn't know about.
If you notice soil washed away from your foundation or too much left behind, agriculture officials urge you to contact a pest control company to come check it out. In Lawrenceville, Paul Crawley, 11 Live News.
Ag officials also warn that a system of termite bait stations around the home. Think you're okay because you had those? They might be useless if they were flooded. If you got concerns about termites or any other pests, we're going to have an expert on 11 Live Weekend Morning News tomorrow to answer your questions. Join us in the chat on 11live.com beginning tomorrow morning at 9.